Hello, everyone. You are listening to the award-winning To Hull and Back podcast, proudly sponsored by Old Zoological Bar. I'm your host, Nathaniel, and tonight I'm joined by Will, Joe, Christian, and Ant. Now, Joe has said that actually he needs to go 8 o'clock, and I think we shouldn't have, even though I know we've got 5 of us on tonight, I think we might even struggle to get to an hour, because nothing happened yesterday.
It must have been a boring game. It must have been a boring game because ITV had it on last on their highlight show. So it can't be that.
Of course. Well,
yeah, not a lot happened. Just the 5 goals, the casual xenophobia, and the rest.
One of the greatest refereeing performances I've ever seen.
Oh, yes. I mean, we're probably going to be talking about the referee an awful lot.
I should say alleged casual xenophobia, just to be clear.
I'll say it allegedly wasn't a great refereeing performance.
Yeah, I mean, shall we just launch into it? I predicted 3-3. Jumping ahead a lot to the end of the game, but when it was 3-1, I was very happy. And then when we conceded that late penalty, I thought, oh dear. I mean, shades of Wrexham there at the end as well, but
you were secretly cheering Birmingham on, so you got a great score, weren't you? Be honest.
No. Well, I mean, I would have felt a lot of vindication, I think, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, 3-3, that's ridiculous," but it was almost that. The main facts that make it such a positive thing, of course, the first back-to-back wins in, I think, is it 47 games since those 3 wins in a row under he who shall not be named. Last October, and Birmingham, of course, typical. We haven't won back-to-back games in over a year. Birmingham haven't lost a home league game in the previous 29. And then, of course, we show up and, comfortably, without any doubts, just strut to a 3-2 win.
There is 2 sides to like typical City in there. There's the ones where the teams haven't won for ages and we're going to give them 3 points. And then the teams that are like unbeaten in God knows how long when we'll probably shithouse a win. And that was one of those.
Yeah, it was very, that part of it was very, when we beat Forest in 2011, I think it was, when they'd been unbeaten for 2 years at home and Fry had scored the only goal. That was a very good away day, that.
It does sort of show 2 sides to us as well, because we've had the back to the wall 1-0 win at home against Sheffield United. I mean, we were back to the wall in quite a lot of the game yesterday, but that is definitely a Jurkiewicz Adrian win. That is what they want to see from us. So we've seen both sides of it.
That is peak what Adrian wants, just chaos. People can't take their eyes off the game. There's always something going on. That's what he's wanted for the last 4 years.
What was it that was said by Mr. Tim W? No, that's too obvious. T. Walter. Heart attack football. I would say that game was very close to the bone on that one.
Oh, absolutely. End to end stuff.
In terms of what you regard as actual heart attack football, yeah. But in terms of the Walter iteration of heart attack football, it was a million miles clear. It was another example of us winning a game when we did our job superbly well. The only sort of qualm I've got, as we've got a comment about Longman missing an open goal from someone there to obviously round Nathaniel up.
Nathaniel.
The only qualm I've got with the performance is it could have been an awful lot more comfortable if we just had better decision making in the final third after Birmingham went down to 10.
Yeah, we had plenty of opportunities to put it to bed, didn't we?
I think Miller was always in loads of space.
Oh, we could have scored 3 or 4 in those last 20 minutes.
He'll be frustrated he didn't get a chance to have a dig. I think Gelhardt could arguably be frustrated he only got 1. Destan, when the ball fell virtually right to his feet from a corner and it just he couldn't get his feet sorted out and it ended up going through his legs. He'll be disappointed with that. But on the whole, we've gone away to a team, although a lot of their unbeaten stint there is while they're a League One side, they pissed League One. So, it counts for something. We've gone to a team that have made their home ground a fortress, and beating them in their own backyard and rattled a few people in the process. So what's there to think about?
I suppose when you outspend almost the entire rest of the league, you probably will piss that league, usually.
Should be doing that, but then you could just see your heads were rolling yesterday. You could just see the frustration from Birmingham. It was, look, for all the possession. Yeah, it was. Look, for all the possession. I mean, all right, they had 29 shots, but they only had 8 on target. And I don't really class them as on target when they were peppering them from 30, 25 yards out. They're a good team, don't get us wrong. You know, they do have the players there. They have spent kind of wisely. And you could just see Birmingham actually doing really well. But they've just got this kind of, they've come across this mentality where I think they expected to take off like they did how they ended League One. And they thought it would be just as easy in the Championship. And because things aren't going their way, you could see the frustration kicking in. And I feel after Hull's kind of contribution of last season of how bad that was, I think that's actually mentally toughened up some of those players that we've needed for yesterday's game, especially someone like Slater and Coyle. I mean, what a game those two had. I mean, Slater to get his goal, I know we're probably going to go into it in a bit more detail, but I'm absolutely ecstatic for the guy. I'm gobsmacked he even got the goal, but he had all the time in the world.
Well, clearly, all these chances with his feet, he's not been good at that. We should be playing up front as a target man.
Yeah. What a salmon, wasn't it? It was a salmon of an head.
We've said for so long that Regan's goal when he breaks his duck, it's going to be like a 30, 40-yard screamer. I think a diving header from the shortest player on the pitch has to go some way to filling the criteria of it was going to be a brilliant, brilliant goal. I mean, the celebration slightly ruined it, Regan. Just let's be honest.
Well, they've all been doing that. McBurney did that. I don't know what it means.
Some sort of
I think I'm too old.
McBurney's done it, and
maybe.
But yeah, Regan, he deserves that. And the crossbar Coyle was perfect. I thought he had a really good game before he had to come off, Louis Coyle. So hopefully it's just precautionary. And I think Sergej said post-match that whenever we get injuries, we always get them minimums of 6 weeks. So hopefully Louis is just an impact one, and he doesn't have another 2 months on the sideline, because his pre-season as well was really, really disrupted through injury. So hopefully he's all right. But Drama, I mentioned it earlier, like the chances we had at the end. Cody Drama whacked the post. He could have had one. And look, it's a brilliant all-round performance. There's not much else to say.
I think for me it was important to see that we can really mix it up with a side that's really physical and horrible. Because I think, again, like how many times we've said it this season, last season, that is not a game that we win by any stretch of the imagination. We probably don't even score. And it's just the fact that this season we seem to be able, and actually really enjoy that physical, that battle, that horrible side to the game that's been missing for so long. And like I think even Sergej said in a recent interview, didn't he, where we're just still a little bit too nice. And it was nice to see us just proper mixing it up and just being horrible towards Birmingham players, because that's why there was so many the whole sort of scuffle thing happened, because obviously Joseph puts in pretty decent challenge on because he actually wins the ball if you look at the replays back on Roberts, and the Birmingham fans players didn't like it, and about 4 of them flew into challenges straight after to try and get him back. And our players just stood up to the occasion, and then all got stuck in and all backed each other. And as a fan, you like to see that. You want to see that the ugly side of the game that we can do to grind out these wins, because in a league like this that's as physical as this and full of really big physical teams, we've got to be able to do that. And we're seeing now this season that we can do that. And it's going to be so important to win those extra points that, like I said, last season we wouldn't have got.
Yeah, Birmingham seemed very ill-disciplined. Of course, Robinson, he's the one who I think he actually did get a straight red card. I don't think
second yellow for dissent.
Initially, he got a yellow, I think, and then he got upgraded.
Yeah, it was clarified as a straight red. because he upgraded it straight away. It just gave him 2 yellows 6 seconds apart.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it wasn't 2 incidents. Of course, that was from the ref not giving a corner. But I've seen so many Birmingham fans on Twitter. I've been arguing with them, saying that the referee caused the melee. Yes.
Can we talk about the ref?
The big moment. Yes.
Rune Ricardo had he had a pretty. I don't think he had a great game, did he? Really?
Not really. No.
He missed. Well, I think, to be fair, that moment where Robinson got sent off.
Robinson.
Yeah, that moment he got sent off. It probably was right. To be fair, for a start, he lost control obviously with the whole melee that happened. I mean, Stansfield easily could have got sent off there. There was a point where Beale maybe could have been sent off being last man, but it's like it's in the box, it's a goal. But
some
Crooks
refs
should have been sent off. Crooks should have been sent off. I think the penalty he didn't give was more of a penalty than the one he did give.
Mm-hmm.
The initial contact of their pen that was given was outside.
Yeah. And it was kind of a weird one as well, the one that they did get. The one that they got felt to me like a referee giving a penalty that, it's still 95th minute and the 3-1, the 2 goals behind, it won't really matter. It did feel that way. I think if it had been 2-1, he may not have given that. And he got the response he probably deserved from the. It's rare that a referee can come off the field and all the fans in the ground thought he had a bad game.
Because it happens every week. Standard of championship refereeing is like that. Sorry, what did you say, Christian?
No, I just say it was mutual hatred from both sides in a way. It was comical at one stage. I mean, as Will just said, like during the melee, I mean, even when he was carding away and trying to work out, he didn't have a Scooby-Doo, did he, who was carding? I mean, Tom Huddleston. He carded him.
Tom Huddleston getting right in that melee.
Huddleston
it was nice to see him, wasn't it?
Than what Chris Davis was. Yeah, it was nice seeing Huddleston doing stuff that he shouldn't have been really doing. But going into
understand how you missed Chris Davis in it though. The 4th official's in there. There's a linesman in there. I don't understand how you missed Davis walking round onto the pitch to tell Sergej Yakirovic.
What you on about? He clarified he never left his technical area. He never moved.
He was too busy talking to his players.
It's so obvious on the footage. Yakirovic gets booked. He's the one who doesn't move at all. He stands.
He moves away, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, Davis goes and squares up to him, and in the other technical
area, he needs to get back to Croatia. You know that country he wasn't born in.
Well, he has worked there. You know,
I know he's ethnically Croatian, but still.
Yeah, true.
Because if we look at all the big decisions in the game, I actually think he got the vast majority of them wrong. Like Crook should have been sent off.
Oh God, that was an appalling decision. Crook's got away with that.
Yeah, Egan in the away end, we said, Crooks is off, and he put a yellow up and then just walked off and was like, "That's a yellow in it." And then it turned out we checked FootMob and it said Egan was like, "What the hell?" Egan didn't even touch him. Beadle, if you look it back, is a denial of a goal scoring opportunity. It should be gone. And if you look at his studs placement, it's just under Gelhart's knee. So on 2 counts, that should have been a red card because if he gets around that.
The thing with the Beadle one is. It's in the box. It's the double jeopardy thing, in it. That's the problem with that one.
And is he going away from goal? And
other refs would get to the ball.
Other refs would give it for sure. But I think you're absolutely right that he got every big decision in the game wrong. Like Will mentioned the penalty in the first half. Charlie Hughes is super lucky there.
Got lucky there, definitely.
And Charlie Hughes, I thought, had quite a decent game. He's dipped. Well, he dipped in recent weeks. Then Chef U, he sort of came back, and yesterday he was
a wall. He was great.
He was very, very solid, but he could have given 2 penalties away on another day if the ref gives that first one. And how can you say he's had a good game if he puts himself in those positions? Which
he still does those things.
It's a weird thing to consider. It's a really weird thing to consider.
No, it still does those crazy things.
It's his age, isn't it? It's the same as I think we all seem to forget that he's still what was he, 21, 22?
Yeah.
You're gonna get these moments from young players like that where I mean, for like 89 minutes of that game, Charlie Hughes was absolutely brilliant, and maybe he had a couple of little silly moments, but you're going to get that, and that's going to come out of his game and playing alongside someone like Egan or even a Jay. That will come. It's the same with Panda. It's like the goalkeepers don't really hit their prime until like their 30s. So when you're a young goalkeeper playing week in, week out, you're going to have peaks and troughs with him. You're going to have some games where he's absolutely brilliant, and some games where he has howlers. But that's because he's a young keeper still learning his trade, and they will iron out those things in training. He'll get the guidance that he needs eventually, and he will become a very good goalkeeper the more he plays. And it's just one of them. We've just got to you've got to take what you get with him sometimes. Like Hughesy, we know how good he can be and how good he will be. He's had a little bit of media attention on him. Maybe it's affected him more than we thought we did, but I think he's definitely getting back to the Hughes that we know. In the last few games, I think he's been superb. And like we say, barring a couple of silly decisions maybe on the pitch, you can't take away the rest of the game kind of thing. You're going to get that, but yeah, that is what it is.
Yeah. I just want to say my piece on Birmingham fans being stupid in that the referee caused the melee. I guess you could argue that from one perspective in the sense that I think it would be fair to say the referee did anger the Birmingham players, but the Birmingham players have to control themselves. They're professional players. The Kyle Joseph one is a strong challenge, but you've got to play to the whistle. You can't just then hack Kyle Joseph down maliciously on purpose because you think that he's done a bad foul on you, and then all your coaches storm into our technical area and kick off. So the footage shows it all. It's a strong tackle from Joseph, but the referee didn't give that as a foul. So from that perspective, City haven't done anything wrong. And so it's not a member of the coaching staff, it's the Birmingham security team, isn't it? That Jurkiewicz alleged. And then Jurkiewicz, he said, well, that's not good, and I felt disrespected. Equally, I'm not going to do anything about it because he understands that you can get into the moment. And then I think that this club should now get involved with this because Birmingham have denied it, even though
the thing with Birmingham denying it is how quickly they suddenly had investigated it internally and gone through it all, and suddenly they realised, oh no, what was their investigation? Was it literally going up to the bloke and saying, "Did you say it?" And he went, "Nah." Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's literally it. 90 minutes it took from it being posted out on the social media to Birmingham actually doing their announcement. It was 90 minutes.
And in that 90 minutes as well, you've got the post-match, which involves obviously the security. The stadium has to be emptied. Obviously, all the media commitments are done in that time as well, depending on where. Even someone who was in that area of the pitch is probably someone who's involved, behind the scenes as well, after the match with the managers and all that. So it will have been even less time the investigation took place than you'd imagine. On that brawl as well, it's funny saying that the referee lost control there because, he never had control in the first place.
No, true.
Yeah, I'm not sure how out of that whole scuffle we ended up with more players booked and more bookings overall.
Well, McBurney gets booked just because it's McBurney. If the ref sees him, it's like, oh, well, he must have done something.
I'm amazed that there is no red card given to any Birmingham player in that situation. Yeah. So, like, when I'm playing football, right, if you ever do five-a-side or anything like that, and you see, like, so what happened is they felt aggrieved that Roberts should have had a foul. And they feel like Joseph's gone too hard in on him. So about 3 or 4 separate Birmingham players going really hard on 2 different City players, intending to hurt them in recompense for that not being given. Is that or is that not intent?
Well, absolutely.
So where's the punishment for that? Because they were trying to hurt a City player. That was the aim. They weren't going for the ball. They were trying to hurt Joseph. That was the aim of it, and they did that, and they get away with it. It's crazy.
2 things there. 1, 5-a-side refs are probably better than EFL refs. And 2, it would be interesting to see what VAR would have said about it. Though I don't want VAR in the EFL for the record. It would have been interesting to see what it said about that whole thing. Because I imagine there'd have been quite a few.
How Stanfield stayed on that pitch is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That VAR.
He had to score his customary penalty.
Oh, hate Stansfield.
that VAR check would have been awfully long because you picture
It'd
Championship
have been horrendous.
Operating that technology, they would have been sat there for about 20 minutes just trying to work out what button to press to move.
There'd have been 9 yellow cards given for the scuffle itself.
And
both teams would have had about 5 yellows in that scuffle at least, easily. You'd have seen both teams' benches get about a couple of red cards, probably.
I saw a great comment as well where it was the photo that Baz took from the press box of the brawl, and an opposition fan had commented, "You don't even have to zoom in on the photo to know which."
That was a Sheffield United fan who said that, and
was it? I thought it's a great comment about McBurney because it's exactly what we've been missing for so long. Someone who's not afraid to get right into the heart of these things and just make shit happen.
He's first there, isn't he? He's like, "Oh, a fight! I'll rush in."
Yeah, he'll defend his mates, won't he? That's the thing.
Yeah, I love McBurney.
With all that as well, I mean, obviously, I'm not bothered with Sergej getting booked because I think he got booked for doing the card motion, which is fair enough. That's against the rules. But the fact that Chris Davis got out with that with nothing just really infuriates me.
You cannot square up to the other manager. I mean, I think it's probably a yellow card.
You can see on the footage Chris Davis clearly saying the words "fuck off."
And that little pixie trying to square up to someone like Jurkovic, is he mad? He'd have folded him like a deck chair.
He hid behind his security guard, though, didn't he? Didn't you see it? When he was like, come on then, behind his little security guard.
Come on then, hold me back, man. Hold me back.
Sergej. Like, nah, come on.
If anyone...
I feel the return fixture is going to absolutely be on Sky, innit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Got to be.
If anyone who's listening has met Sergej Jurkovic or has stood next to Sergej Jurkovic, I have, Will has, I'm not sure if any of you three have as well. He I'm not small. He towers over me. It's insane. So
I think if you never heard him speak and you just saw him, I'd be a bit scared about him.
He gives off mob boss vibes.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
My mum says he looks like a hitman.
Yeah,
yeah. Until he speaks, and he speaks quite jovially a lot of the time. That's what throws it off.
And he's, how he said, because a lot of the managers, they get very annoyed in their press conferences. But he was saying, well, yes, I felt disrespected by that. It's not acceptable, but it's football. And
his calm demeanor adds to the fear. I think. Why is he so?
Why is he so calm?
It's that arrogant confidence in it that's kind of.
You almost think he's keeping a lid on it deliberately, not to kick off because he knows that the
lack of emotion is a bit. Yeah.
And he's instilled something really good into this team. It's a likable team. It's a tougher team. We've got quality up front, and we're getting results. Things are definitely moving in the right direction, aren't they, under Jurkovic? Compared to, under Slutsky, it was not really quite the same. You felt like he didn't really know what he was doing, whereas Jurkovic seems a lot calmer, and yes, a lot of goals, but he's focusing on trying to get us more solid, and that will come. But they are entertaining games, aren't they?
Well, in that iNewspaper interview that Ant mentioned earlier, I think the phrase he used was they are too nice. They need to be more. They need to be bastards on the pitch. The quote is something like that, which is
something I think all of us have at some point mentioned we want the club players to be. They've been too nice for a long time.
Bit of honesty, and it's a brilliant. It's like a historical quote from a Hull City manager. It's fantastic. And another quote of Sergej's that I quite liked was when he was talking after the game, how he's leaving the Chris Davis scuffle behind. I like how you can just sit and have a beer with the opposition manager after the game. I've done it with Frank Lampard. I've done it with Chris Wilder. It's just normal. I'm leaving with the 3 points. Cheers. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a likable guy. You comment on McBurney, he didn't score, but Coxey says it's good to see that we scored 3 without him. But
we're not a one-man team,
got not the assist because it was clearly an own goal. The keeper actually saves.
Give it to Kyle. Come on. I know obviously it is. Give it to Kyle.
It was to be fair, so wide.
it's more of a Joseph goal than the Akintola one was last half. That would have gone out the stadium. But
now you've mentioned Akintola, I think he's the only bad point of that game that I can pick out from a player. I think he really struggled with the physicality of that game, and he left Coyle very, very isolated. I think their goal comes from Akintola kind of just standing in absolute no man's land on the edge of the box, and the player's free on the edge, and then they have a free shot at Panda, and then obviously the tap-in goes in. But he really struggled, I think, in that first half, and changing him at half-time was a very, very good decision from Sergej because it really transformed us. Second half, we were so much better with Crooks on. And obviously Joffrey went out wide and sort of just was an absolute nightmare for him. So kudos to Sergej for that very proactive change because, we've seen times gone by where that would have just carried on into the second half and we'd have probably been 2 or 3 down by that point.
I thought Hadji Ahmetovic, the change coming in for Lundstrom, thought he had a brilliant game. He just kept us ticking really, really nicely. And,
he did a great job.
Just coming back to McBurney, something that I really liked was it was in the first half. He ran half the length of the pitch to put pressure on, I think it was Clara, and forced a Birmingham error, forced a corner from it, just because he wanted to do that running. He wanted to battle. He wanted to fight. And the whole jockeying and the battling in that, I thought that was phenomenal. And there's nothing else to say on the matter. He is such a brilliant player in so many different ways, and he's a proper footballer.
I agree on that one. I mean, I'm gonna Paul's mentioned something in the chat about Carl Joseph. Now, with respect to Carl Joseph, I'm a 50-50 with Carl. We've always hoped for him to get more goals and be a better player than technically kind of what he was, especially after last season and the struggle there. And then obviously it came about with the injury and things like that. From our perspective, especially watching him yesterday, well, from my perspective, not ours, sorry, I don't want to speak for everybody else here. I'm only speaking on what I saw yesterday. He's still a player that is definitely not to the standard of skill and quality and touch as you would expect from someone like Miller. However, the effort and the work rate that he does was second to none. The guy ran everywhere. He was done by the 70th minute. You saw him on the ground. 75th minute, he was absolutely broken. And just to say that how good of that effort of running and breaking people down, even to get the first goal contribution on that through ball from McBurney, brilliant. I will agree that his touch needs work on, and I would say his awareness needs work on. But you're playing him out on the left, which isn't his natural spot, is it? It's not really his natural spot. So generally, I would say, look, he's doing a bit of a job still whilst Miller's on his recovery. But you've got to respect the amount of work that guy put in. You've got
me and my cousin said before the game, the thing is, so when you're putting Carl Joseph in, it's obviously he's not a winger and he is a striker. But I think away from home in games where you want pressure on defensive support for someone like Giles, Joseph is going to do more of that than I think Miller would. Miller is obviously very, very much better in the sense of he's a traditional winger. He'll probably create more goals and he'll be more comfortable out there. But what you get from Joseph is non-stop running, harassment, pressing, forcing errors, running in behind as well. He does that quite often. It stretches defenders, gives them something else to think about as well because obviously McBurney's in the middle. It's totally different to what Miller offers. So I think in terms of an away game where, at St Andrews, you'd want a Carl Joseph out there starting and to bring Miller on later. But maybe at a home game, you'd probably start with Miller because you want to sort of have that more creative approach to it. So it's just what they offer differently. I'm not, but you'd want to see Miller starting, obviously for circle holes kind of thing. But
I would like to see Akintola in their side. I'd like to maybe try Joseph on the other side and have Miller on the left.
Yeah, I think that's probably something he might do on Tuesday night against Leicester.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting one. I would like to see a Miller start now. I think we're at the stage of where Miller could be starting, because he just looks always an attacking threat. Does Miller, doesn't he? When he's got the ball, you just feel so much going to come from it. And
I mean, he probably should have scored at one of those chances, to be fair, or hit the target. Anyway.
Should have. I mean, even his one that went over the of the goal near the end, it was almost a carbon copy run of the one where he set Gelhardt. And if anything, if he played that ball into Gelhardt again, Gelhardt could have had two.
Should have done the same, yeah.
Because he should have done exactly the same. But I understand Miller taking the shot.
I do like the fact that he still wasn't too greedy every time. He still knew when to make the pass and kill the game off.
It is trademark Miller, that though. That little cut inside that he does, he's so good at it. We saw it at the start of last season, and I think there's some stats where like his successful dribbles was up there with some of the best in Europe across all of the leagues. Like he is good at that side.
He's a little Canadian Robin, isn't he? He's cut inside every single time. Just try and kill the ball in.
People say he's like a one-trick pony, but it's the defenders find it so hard to deal with. And look how many times he turned the Birmingham defence inside out just by cutting in on his right foot.
Robin was incredibly successful at it. No one seemed to. For some reason, people kept letting him do it, and he kept scoring
for like 15 years.
And it works because if you look at like the balance of the team, we've got Giles who likes to bombard up the line. So if you have Miller on, who wants to cut inside and sort of tuck in more as an inverted winger, you've got then Giles as the overlap option, like what Brummie did later on for Joffy. And we have got those options now because we've got fullbacks that want to attack, that want to get forward. And we've got wingers that want to cut inside and either shoot or then play the overlapping ball. So we're giving ourselves now a multi-pronged attack. Whereas last season, because we were so reserved in how we went...
That's convenient.
I was going to say, great timing there for Ant to go in there.
It's because I got a phone call.
Oh no!
But it's the difference between this season and last season is just basically we actually give license to the fullbacks to do what they want to do and go forwards. Whereas last season we didn't, and that's why we struggled to score goals. Whereas this season we've gone right, create space, get up, do an overlap, get in behind, and we do it so well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Carl Joseph is Shane Long. I think he's just Shane Long, but Carl Joseph, runs and never doesn't really score much, but can get in behind.
Shane Long did score quite a few for City.
I was going to say Shane Long did.
Shane Long was very good in the 6 months he was here.
He was.
Yeah.
Does that make McBurney lanky and big and target man? I guess McBurney could be Yelovich. Couldn't he? But I think when Miller's fit, Miller's going to be playing.
I'd like to see McBurney and Destan up top together. Like Destan, I think the jury's still out on him, but I proper love Destan. I love how he comes on and just wants to get stuck in and just hurt people. Yeah.
It's the chaos he brings when he comes on playing a game.
It's almost like bringing on a centre half, or if you took Sergej's sort of aura and put it into a person, it would just manifest into Enis Destan. He just comes on and just bulldozes everybody, and he's a nightmare. Like, can you imagine playing against McBurney and Destan up top together when you're whipping balls up top? Them defenders would be battered and bruised in the morning. They won't be turning up to training.
But it's what Destan has to do. Like, whenever he comes on, it is usually for McBurney in late game situations. And it was a bit different yesterday because Sergej, although he doesn't like to bring McBurney off, he thought it's a 3-game week. We've got Leicester on Tuesday. That's an awfully difficult game. And then Charlton is well, both of them are winnable, to be fair, but Charlton's an equally winnable one. You've got to have McBurney rested. And I think I saw a comment earlier that he left St Andrews in a bit of dressing around his leg. So maybe he was feeling that. But when Destan came on, his job, whenever he gets on the pitch, is just to run himself into the ground for however long he's on. And that's the bare minimum you can ask of a player when they come on. And Destan, to his credit, always puts a good shift in. He's
quite a tidy player as well. Like, I think when he's trying to hold the ball in the corner, the little bit of skill he did to round their player to keep the ball. And he's little no-look passes he was doing to like get Miller in behind and that kind of thing. He does actually technically look pretty decent. And I think the longer he's here, it's a good thing maybe that he's not come to be the starting striker with that kind of pressure. Because I think it's better now that he's sort of adapting to this league, coming on off the bench, seeing like what McBurney does, probably, doing a bit more in training. He's got that pressure off him, really, because McBurney's doing the heavy lifting. So he just has to come on, just sort of annoy their team and just knock them to the floor a few times. And eventually he will get he was unlucky not to get a goal yesterday. And I do think once he gets a goal, he'll be up and running. But I do like him as a completely different option to McBurney. And you can even put Joseph up there, and he's a completely different option. So we have got sort of like the ability to mix the approach in terms of attack now with the strikers, all three completely different styles.
Yeah. He's only played an hour of football, so you wouldn't really have even expected him to, made much of an impact after one match. He's not started any, so very early days for him.
I think we are still yet to see, his quality in the box, if that makes sense. What we've seen from him so far is the miss at Swansea, where if he has touched the ball before that, he's probably got a bit more settled into the game and can score it. And then his miscue yesterday from the corner where he just couldn't get his feet sorted out.
Seems to always be like a centimetre away from connecting with the ball.
He always seems
to get there quicker.
Yeah, like a fraction away from greatness. And by greatness, I mean the ball connecting and testing the keeper properly. But
we need to address this Longman miss before the chat goes crazy.
No, we do, podcast. I'm the host. Podcast veto or host veto. No, we don't. Let's move on.
No, we
good
do.
miss, wasn't it?
He has a very good question about what happens when Burstow comes back.
It won't come back till summer.
When Longman hits the side netting.
To be fair, no matter how many goals, how many goals he's getting in League One doesn't matter because he's not a Premier League quality player. Boom.
It's trivial talking about Burstow because any club with any sense would leave him there.
Yeah,
easy.
Yeah. At the moment, definitely, got to leave him there because if you just take him out of there, he might just completely get disillusioned and lose his confidence.
Yeah,
he'll be there for the season.
Yeah, he stays there for the season, and then look, he's already kind of made it public that he's interested in kind of staying there already. But that's because obviously he's having his greatest kind of time going at the moment.
Which is fair enough. To be fair, I don't blame him if that's what he feels.
Exactly. No one can blame him. And the thing is about City as well.
It could be a championship side next year.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, he ain't going to if they get into championship, though. But
theoretically, if he continues as he is and they get promoted, you would imagine Bolton probably will try and get him, will want him permanently and will offer money for him.
Yeah,
and
it'd have to be.
I wouldn't blame the club for, accepting that.
No, of course not. And that's the thing from the City perspective. When he was gone, or when we found out he was getting loaned out, obviously. I don't know about yourselves, gentlemen, but for myself, at the time, I was a bit like, we shouldn't have loaned him out. We probably needed him this season.
To be fair, at the moment we loaned him out, we didn't have McBurney at that point. I don't think we had Destan at that point. We didn't. I think we only had Josie as an actual named striker at that point.
Yeah.
Destan was in the but we didn't. All we had. McBurney wasn't imminent. Destan looked set to come in, but wasn't done. So all we had,
and it was the week of the embargo, so people were a bit upset, which is fair enough in hindsight. The timing of it was really weird, but it's obvious now. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. It was the right decision.
It wasn't the week of the embargo, was it? Because that got put in before we went to Turkey.
Yeah, during Turkey.
Bairstow scored at Stockport in late July, then got loaned out.
Something definitely happened the day before or the day of. I can't remember what it was then.
It was around about the time when we realised we had the salary cap movement. So once the Bairstow loan broke, it emerged also that we had to move players out to get players in.
Yeah, we loaned out Burstow a day before Destan signed.
There we go.
Yeah, I think at face value, if the prospect of, I think a lot of City fans would have probably preferred Kyle Joseph to go on loan and keep Bairstow just because Bairstow looks more of a natural finisher than Kyle Joseph was. But obviously, he's when you now with hindsight, you look back and go, actually, no, he's having a full season now, playing at a level below. Playing as a number 9, which a lot of us wanted him to do last season, and he was always played on the wing, and actually showing what he can do and that kind of potential that we obviously saw in him when we wanted to buy him permanently from Chelsea. So it is good that he's getting there now, and he needs to have a full season. Let's see him hit double figures, get 15 to 20, really get his confidence up, and then we're onto a win-win because we either get a much better version of Mason Burstow next season, or we probably sell him for money. So we're in a win-win situation, and we've got Carl Joseph, who, let's be honest, because we've got McBurney up front and Destan. You know, you've got Joseph now, who gives us that option for a winger/striker, and does all like the legwork and run. He basically probably does a 10k every single game. But yeah, I hope he does well and stays there for the rest of the year. I hope we don't record him.
Yeah.
Also, someone like Oliver's mentioned, Sellers Fleming's having a decent time at Scunthorpe as well. He's looking okay as he went there. He's scoring a few goals.
Yeah, it's only temporary loan, that, isn't it? I think if he scored loads come January,
it's been extended to January. I think it might get extended further.
I'd rather if he's doing really well non-league, I'd be tempted to try and get him to a League Two club, because you want to try and raise the ceiling a bit, don't you? It's all well and good banging in goals in the non-league. We want to see what he can do at a slightly more difficult stage.
Also, on Academy Watch, Stan Ashby posted that he was in hospital. It was a procedure that he had to have. I don't want to go into too much detail, just out of respect, but it was a procedure he had to have, and he will be back in training in round about a month, I think.
Good. Well, good luck to him. Speaking of injuries, of course, we mentioned Palmer. Paul commented, is Palmer actually injured? I mean, yes, of course he's actually injured, but interesting coincidence, he'll be fit just
the timing is genuinely incredible with everything that's happened the past few weeks.
Because it's almost like Palmer heard that Jurkiewicz was going to have a chat with him as soon as he came back from the Jamaica game. He was never planning to be...
Sorry to interrupt the final. Best for that is, apparently he did have a chat with him, and Jurkiewicz said it was a very, very short chat.
Oh, he said it would. Did
he just say what Chris Davies said to him?
That was
Casey Palmer is injured because of the chat with Jurkiewicz.
Yes, quite right. You've got it. You've figured it out.
To be clear, the quote from Jurkiewicz was from his pre-match press conference on Thursday, when Palmer hadn't yet arrived, so he was yet to have that conversation. And Sergej sounded in that interview very open to having Casey back among his squad of players. He just said, I'll have the conversation with him, but for me, he's part of the squad. I expect it to be a very short conversation, and left it there on the BBC interview. But coming back the next day into the training ground and going straight into, because I think he said he didn't have chance to speak to Casey. He went straight into the medical room post match to get checked out, and then had I think I'm confusing him with Shemi Ajay here. Ajay walked into the training ground, and then Sergej didn't have a chance to speak to him because he got checked out straight away. But yeah, Palmer came back, and they diagnosed his injury straight away. He got a whack in the knee in the last Jamaica game, and although we've said it, haven't we? It's a very funny timing. Not for a second do I think that Sergej's fabricated an injury to cover up the fact he doesn't want to play a player. It's just a very, very nice coincidence.
I don't think Jurkiewicz would do that. I think he'd just say...
No manager would do it. It's a ridiculous thing that fans say, that as so-and-so, is so-and-so really injured? Well, yeah, of course they are. Managers aren't just going to make shit up.
Especially with our injury record, because we haven't mentioned it, but Lundstrom's out.
You don't know. Sergej apparently made up that he was told to go back to Croatia.
That's true. Yeah, it's true.
The weirdest bit about that statement for me was we're very disappointed the allegation was made in the media. Well, where else
as opposed to making it in his living room to his wife? No one round.
Yeah. Where else is he going to make that?
Yeah, but he gave them the opportunity to, kind of ignore it. He said, well, I'm not going to be filing into the EFL, so they could have just left it at that, but they had to go and get involved. So, not good. Lundstrom's out injured, and Palmer. Coyle went off, of course. We're talking about McBurney in some sort of, it wasn't a boot, was it? But injury record's pretty shocking, but no disrespect to Casey Palmer. Out of the three players, or the four with Egan as well, to go on international duty, especially Ajayi and Miller coming back from long-term injuries or medium-term injuries. I'm glad it happened to Palmer as opposed to anyone else. So maybe a little bit lucky. I was concerned Ajayi played 90 minutes, and of course Miller had just come back from an ACL, and they were, I was concerned about him getting an injury there. So I hadn't even thought about Palmer. But given that he wouldn't have been in the squad anyway, not only because Ndala and Joseph were back, who had missed the last match, and they would have been on the bench before. Of course, Palmer wouldn't have been on the bench anyway.
I completely genuinely forgot about Ndala.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, him.
But that's good because we've got Crooks back as well. So we do still have
Brummie going out for a few more weeks again. Having Ndala back's a good.
It's crazy because we can sort of maintain this sort of top 10 position that we're in, and then you've still got Lundstram, Brummie, and Matazo to bring back in.
That's the one.
Matazo's back training this month. And Matazo's back training this month, and full training. I say full training, non-contact training, like doing ball work this month. And Lundstram and Brummie should be back around about a similar time. So that's a really nice. That could be one game where you have the quality of Lundstram, the experience of Lundstram, and the quality of Brummie injected into the team at the same time. That could be very, very nice.
Yeah.
International break is going to be useful again. Just a couple extra weeks of time to get players back.
Unless we've got momentum, and then
someone's going to get injured. McBurney's going to get into the Scotland lineup and do his ACL there. That could well happen.
Don't jinx it.
Well, yeah, I almost jinxed it yesterday when I said that we had it wrapped up against 10 men. So, and I got 10 comments on that. So that was a scary one. Anything else about the Birmingham game?
No,
yeah, okay. Well,
to review, haven't we?
Oh, yes. Well, of course, I mentioned mine already. It was 3-3, so I got 0 points. I don't know what the other ones were, so we'll take it away because I assume you've got the spreadsheet still.
It's been a while. Well, only one of us technically that I didn't get a prediction from, and that was Ant. I'm sorry you did give a prediction, but I never saw it. But you still got a point anyway because you got the 3-0. Obviously, Nathaniel predicted 3-3 because he's a mentalist. That it turned out it was nearly correct. Right. The 1-1 bot predicted 4-0, 1-1. Me and Joe both predicted 2-1, so we both got a point. But Christian again, twice in 3 games, predicting the score perfect for 3-2. Which is infuriating considering going into the 90th minute it was 2-1.
yeah. And I was one of those as well when they had the penalty. I was like, do I want this to go in or not?
Part of you was thinking, actually, going in.
Yeah. Part of me was like, I need it. I'll take the 10 points. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
As it stands, yeah, look at Christian. He's opening a gap. It's concerning, and Nathaniel's exactly where everyone expected him to be.
Nathaniel, what are you doing?
I'm getting the predictions wrong, clearly. But
so not enough spirit of the game, Nathaniel.
Well,
Nathaniel, the lesson has to be make your actual prediction and then do the opposite. That I think you've got to try that. I mean, saying that I am only 1 point.
That's a cheat. That's a cheat.
Well, I'll have to change it up for the Leicester game. But considering that we've broken a few ducks, first away win of the season, Slater's first goal in a year, first away win at Birmingham for any club in 29 games, I thought, even though we've got to wrap this up, I thought that it might be a good time to bring back the best part of the podcast. It's the combined lineup.
Oh, Christ almighty.
Who sanctioned this?
I did. I'm the host. So, Panda in goal. We've got Ryan Giles, the top assister in the league. So, fair enough. Hughes, if he could stop, giving away penalties, I guess he'd actually deserve to be there. Vestergaard, who's scored, I think, 2 goals already. And Pereira, who's probably the best fullback in the league. Top caliber player. Harry
Whoa,
Winks.
whoa! It can't be the best fullback in the league. Ryan Giles is right there.
Oh, the best right back. Sorry, the best right back.
I was going to
Harry
say
Winks and Jordan James. We've got Slater. It's not really in the number 10 position. That's just a defensive lineup. But because he's got a beautiful goal, we've got Gelhardt on the wing for Taru. Because I'm not putting Akintola in this. Let's be fair. I mean, obviously McBurney up front. It's now a good time to do the Charlton one as well that I prepared. Was that a bit much?
For God's sake!
No. The only thing I mentioned
Let's
there.
see. Well, there's a bit more Hull City in that.
There is a bit more Hull City in that,
including the Charlton ones.
Bring that one up as well, but
just a couple of things, real quick.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned about Anton there because he was there. Fans, Birmingham fans throwing objects at City fans, just to check.
Yeah, we had there was at least 3 balls from memory that they belted across. I mean, to be fair, it was giving them a lot of stick all game, but you shouldn't be throwing stuff. But no, they did. So I think if the club wanted them to look into that, they could definitely.
The most terrifying thing was I saw the video of the Birmingham fan mooning the City fans, which is by far the most horrifying thing that happened all day.
Yeah, it's awful.
That's
awful.
Yeah. Second most horrifying thing after the Stoke Wrexham game and the incident as well.
You brought it up this time.
That's true. Yeah. So Leicester have drawn 5 of the last 6 games. Would we take a draw and then keep that momentum with that unbeaten run going?
I think you've got to aim at 4 points from the next 2 at least.
Yeah,
I'd have a point against Leicester. I'd have a point against Leicester for sure. Then I think we've got to beat Charlton. Have to be beating Charlton at home.
Yeah, the only team they've beaten away from home this season is Sheffield United, and everyone's beating them at the moment. So, yeah, I think 4 points. I mean, I'm already down.
I don't want to ruin this for you, Nathaniel, but Sheffield United won this weekend.
True, but they beat
Watford. That beat us.
Watford.
Oh,
Watford who beat us. Yeah,
the point's fallen away then, hasn't it?
Yeah, Watford are weird though. So. Keep sacking the manager, different manager every week. You know, they're you never know what you're going to get out of them. So
Leicester are a very good team. They just don't have a goal scorer. If they still had Vardy, for example, this season.
Yeah, he went to Cremonense, haven't he?
An actual proper number 9, then they'd probably be in the top 2 or top of the table because they're a very hard team to beat. They just don't have enough goals to turn them draws into wins. So that's something we have to try and capitalise on. Because they're obviously not very potent going forwards. But
their striker who has gone, Vardy's not scored since he left.
Yeah, but neither Patson Daka has not scored this season for them either. So
Fatawa's their biggest threat, isn't he? He's a phenomenal player.
Definitely.
Yeah, so Giles is going to be in for another long evening. To be fair, Giles did very well. I thought Damari Gray was Birmingham's best player on the pitch, and I think Giles did very, very well against him. I think Giles defensively has improved so much this season.
It was mostly on Coyle's side, though, wasn't it, Damari Gray, until they made some changes after the sending off.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cox has put it in chat. Keep Abdul Fatawu quiet, and we're well in with a chance.
There's a really good chance.
Just do a Stansfield on him and stop him that way.
The midfield battle is going to be important because they're very good at control. Harry Winks, very good player at this level. Jordan James has been a fantastic signing for them, so we've got to make sure. For me, Crooks has to come in. We need that bit of physicality. We need that bit of control in the middle, and you get that extra bit of defensive work and possession retention when you've got Crooks on the pitch. So, if we're going to try and get anything from Leicester, we need that midfield foundation. So, I think that's going to be the key point of this game.
Yeah. So, drop back in Tola, push Gelhardt out wide, bring Crooks in.
Yeah, I think his crossroads moment is going to be if he puts Crooks on. And has Crooks, Slater, and Amir as the midfield 3 and puts Joffrey out wide. Or if you put, like Will said earlier, maybe Miller on the left and then play Joseph on the right. He's got there's a little thing he's got to have there, Sergej, about what he wants to do.
Yeah, that's worth mentioning as well. Yeah, Zikarevic won't be on the touchline. He'll be up in the stands. Which, but it's interesting because how much of an effect will that have? Because obviously it does feel like the whole. But that backroom staff all manage the team when you watch the touchline.
It'll be Holden, won't it?
Who are the main priority? Yeah, you'd imagine.
It'd be Holden or Salatovic, won't it? Who are taking charge. But the last time The last time we had a touchline ban at the MKM was Tim Walter, and we got a draw against a decent side who'd just come down from the Premier League. So
maybe if Tim had been banned from the touchline more often, we'd have done better.
I think if Tim Walter was banned from whole
city,
it
would have been better.
If Tim Walter was banned from football,
if he was just banned from everything.
Well, he's not got a job yet, so we're still technically paying him.
And there's a reason for
the
that.
Forest job. What are you on about? He's getting the Forest job.
Oh gosh.
Can you imagine?
That fits, to be honest. No, I heard Marianakis wants to actually become the manager himself. I saw that.
They can't be that far off of that, can they?
Well, yeah, it's definitely possible.
Probably part of his plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what's the prediction?
Also, just a random aside while we're still... Sergej went to Hull Fair and no one got a picture and I'm fuming.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah, the Slutsky heritage moment would have been quite nice.
Yeah. Shall we do the predictions for the next 2 games then?
Let's do it.
All right, Will, do you want to go first?
Well, we hadn't even talked about Charlton.
Oh, we'll murder them. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
4-0, easy. Are we doing predictions for both Leicester and Charlton?
Hat-trick incoming.
Oh,
It's hard to talk about team news and stuff for Charlton because we've still got the Leicester game, so it could be completely different. So we can just predict the result for Charlton. It's hard, isn't it?
Well, just briefly, Charlton have had a good start to the season. I think they've been. They're by far the best of the 3.
Yeah, there won't be a pushover.
Yeah,
promoted sides. But Leicester, I'm going to go with Desmond.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you've nicked my prediction, Will.
And Charlton, I'm going to go with a 2-1. There's the 4 points that I think we should want to be aiming for from the 2 games.
Yeah, I'm also going 2-2 with Leicester.
Stop copying me.
Against Charlton, 3-1. Paul's put my Charlton prediction in the chat as well. I'm going 3-1 to City.
Yes.
Question is, for Charlton, who scores? Reece Beck or Greg Docherty?
Will Mannion.
Nathan Jones.
Yes. Christian,
He wishes.
2 predictions.
I'm going to flip this on its head, to be honest. Leicester.
What, you're going to lose one of them?
No. You see, I'm going to see Hull 1-0 win against Leicester.
Yeah.
Ooh,
But I'm going to see a 2-2 against Charlton.
Yeah. So, like Sheffield United and Preston, then basically. I think that's fair. Yeah.
And that's how it's going to go down.
I mean, I predicted 1-0 against Sheffield United and it worked. So
yeah, you see.
I'm going to go 1-1 Leicester, and then Charlton 2-1 win.
All right. Well, Matthew here is commenting in that I shouldn't say anything, but
4-4 draw.
I mean, what do you think?
You did say we beat Sheffield United 7-0, and we'd lose to Southampton 5-7.
No,
so what are you going to go for this time?
I'm going to go 1-0 Leicester because I just think they're a decent team and we can't keep this record up for long. And for Charlton, I'll go 5-3 City.
I mean, I'd love that.
Well,
that'd be a great game.
Arjun would love that. Sergej would get a pay rise.
No,
they get a Lambo yacht bought for him.
Officially, why not? 5-3. I mean, I'm already bottom of the league, so,
What difference does it make?
What difference does it really make? Yeah. Just, we're playing pointless, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right?
It's golf scores where the lowest wins.
Yes. Oh, good. Lovely.
Points are bad, Nathaniel. You know this.
Certainly.
Points always make prizes in my book.
Yeah. I mean, we could easily be in the playoffs after either Tuesday or Saturday. Things are going very well, and we haven't even spent. Well, to say we haven't spent any money is factually accurate, but it's also kind of missing the point.
Well, we have spent money, and then the players got reversed.
Well, yes, but McBurney is on an awful lot of money. So,
look, look, this is a big, far, outright crazy call here. But if things go our way,
it's not far right, Christian.
No.
Whoa.
That escalated.
I thought we'd already covered the Sergej xenophobia.
Yeah, exactly. If things do go our way and City win and other results, we could easily be third on Saturday.
Very exciting.
But like I say, we are playing two sides who are in a good position. Like Leicester's in.
Yeah.
Leicester obviously in the playoffs.
Leicester are fourth.
And Charlton are ninth.
And Charlton are ninth with same points.
Same points, yeah.
So, I mean, it's a nice if you get 6 points out of this.
Well, they do say, don't they? They do say like you should really only start looking at the table after 10 games. We're at 10 games. We're 10th. We're only a couple of points outside the playoffs. Obviously, if that continues as is, it would suggest a decent season possibly coming up for us.
Yeah. I think after January, it's going to be when we are at our best. Honestly, I think after January, we probably will be one of the unstoppable ones because we've got no problem with scoring goals at all.
No problem conceding them.
We've got a problem with conceding them, but I feel when Matazo's back, the backline's sorted, we've got a January transfer market that could potentially see. Do you know what? It won't be silly of us to get a centre back in.
Jay goes on AFCON as well, so we will lose him.
Yeah, exactly. Jay will be going on AFCON in mid-December, I think, is when the Cup of Nations starts this year. So we'll be losing him.
Centre back. Jarvis, Toll.
Well, someone mentioned earlier about Jakirovic's lad, who in the chat, someone mentioned about Jakirovic's lad, who is a defender. He's currently in the academy, I think, at Dynamo Zagreb. I don't imagine they'd let him go for less than a fee, so it's probably out of the question. But you never know.
We're over the hour mark, guys. Joe's getting very, very tetchy.
Am I?
I'm looking at free agents.
I'm looking at free agents in the halves here. Our options are Craig Dawson, Courtney House.
Oh God.
Did Amati go anywhere?
Dan Amati's still on there, yeah.
Well, he's played in Turkey, so I'm surprised we didn't go for him in the summer.
Riedewald just went to Sheffield United, didn't he? He can play centre.
Yeah.
Reece Oxford when he's back fit. That's a throwback. They're in a lot. Oh, and Liam Cooper, of course, because that one.
No,
absolutely not.
Not again.
No.
That one went down as last year.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to look at what's going on in January. But at the moment, things are going well. But after 2 home games, if we get disappointing results, we'll be thinking the opposite. So you just got to take it one game at a time. But my hotel is already booked, so hopefully they don't let me down.
Is it refundable? Is it a refundable hotel?
No. No. Honestly, if that happened, I'd probably just stay at my brother's.
There's no point getting a hotel. We're going to go up in automatic.
Oh, sorry. Yes, for the hotel in Hull. So I'm there ready for the open bus tour.
Nathaniel's just bought a tent in advance just in case.
Yes. Okay. Right. Well, Will, Joe, and Christian, and everyone who's commented in, a few first timers, I think, in the comments as well. Thank you very much for joining us.
If it is your first time, hit the follow button, subscribe, whatever platform it is you're watching us on live. And if you're a new listener, click all the nice buttons or whatever on Apple Podcast and Spotify. I don't really know what it is, but I think it helps.
Click all the nice buttons.
Yeah, helps the algorithm.
If you're watching on Facebook, if you don't want to miss another episode, we go live at the same time every Sunday, obviously, and on a Wednesday. But if you do subscribe on YouTube, it will notify you when we go live, so you won't miss it. So that's probably your easiest bet.
Yeah, lovely. Right, well, enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. Up the Tigers, mould, and I'll see you next week.
Tigers.
Bye-bye.